It's fine, Qian Hao rejected decisively, but when she saw Lu Jinian's lips pressed together, her heart clenched slightly. She held on to the cup of milk a little tighter, her eyes lowered. After a moment of silence, she spoke again. I don't really like the swallow's nest. It was given to me by Mrs. Xu a few days ago when I visited her house. I gave a portion to Zhao Mong and kept the rest. The swallow's nest was indeed given by Han Rushu. When he was downstairs, he had suspected, but he needed a confirmation from Qian Hao. Besides, she mentioned that she didn't have trouble sleeping. Just then, a wild thought entered his mind. He wasn't sure if it was true, but ever since he was young, he didn't have a good relationship with Han Rushu, hence he might be overthinking. Lu Jinian remained silent, nodding towards Qian Hao before replying causally, "Oh." "Yay," Qian Hao agreed faintly, not knowing how to continue. Silence fell on the room. Qian Hao continued to drink her milk, and when she finished, Lu Jinian reached out his arm to take cup. He then removed the pillow she had used for backrest, then faintly said, "Sleep." Qian Hao didn't reply. She laid down silently and shut her eyes. She could vaguely feel Lu Jinian standing by the door, looking down at her for a while before leaving the room. Lu Jinian placed the empty cup in the kitchen basin and retrieved a paper towel to wipe his wet hands. Instead of returning to the bedroom, he walked to the side of the kitchen to send his assistant to text, "Come to me in Xia Garden." After less than a minute, his assistant replied. Lu Jinian placed the phone back into his pocket and returned to the bedroom as though nothing had happened. Qian Hao laid on the bed, seemingly asleep. He switched off the main lights, leaving only a tiny night light on, then walked to the edge of the bed and covered her with a blanket before dimming the night light, after which he walked to the balcony. Qian Hao was still awake. The bedroom was silent, and even though Lu Jinian had tried to keep quiet, she could still hear and sense him when he was close, or when he had walked away. When he had tucked her in, her entire body was tensed up. After a seemingly long time, she finally entered deep sleep. Lu Jinian's phone vibrated, and when he reached for it, he saw a text from his assistant. He looked out the window and saw a car arriving. He turned, then before leaving the room, he took one last look at Qian Hao. Downstairs, he walked to the kitchen and removed a bottle of swallow's nest before walking out of the house. His assistant was already waiting for him. Deep in the night, there was barely any sound. Lu Jinian placed his finger on his lips to signal for his assistant to keep quiet as he led them away from the house.